Do you know that feeling where it feels like everything is just against you? Like the whole universe, every situation, every person that you encounter is somehow conspiring against you. That the exact thing that you want more than anything is being pulled away further and further away from you the more that you need it, the more that you crave it, the more that your happiness is depending on it. Or where it feels like everything is just going wrong, no matter what you do. To the point where it feels like almost the more effort that you put in, the further away things get from how you want them to be. The more things go wrong. And you just feel like you can't catch a fucking break. You put in all this effort, you have all this deep, intense desire, this deep need for things to be what you want. Or to get that one thing, maybe it's that one girl that your head's over here in love with. Or maybe it's that job that you've been wanting to get for a long time. And the more that you want it, the harder it seems to be able to get. The further, the more distant it seems to be from your reality. And my message is very, very simple and very clear. Stop trying. Give up. Let go. Just stop. You see, all this effort that you've been putting into getting what you need is feeding into the illusion that you needed it in the first place. Is feeding into the illusion that your happiness is depending on it, that your worth is depending on it, that your sense of being good enough is depending on something on the outside, something outside of yourself. When I started traveling by myself, really the first time I went on a trip without knowing anyone to the city I went to Budapest for a month. I would walk into the park and I would see all these, like happy couples, these groups of people enjoying their Saturdays together. And I would just look at them with envy, with like deep, deep desire to be social and to feel part of a group or to feel like I was with someone instead of just being by myself. And I would go again back to my Airbnb and just be super sad, depressed and lonely. And I read this quote from my favorite book and I loved the quote so much that I even, let me just pull it up here, that I even got it tattooed on my chest. And the quote reads, "Be happy all the time, without a reason in the world, and then you can love and do what you will." The idea of the quote is that we get so busy trying to search for things, trying to take from the world, trying to control the world around us to ensure that we can get it to be in the way that we want, to be able to get our happiness from the world around us. When I read that quote, I started crying because I realized that there wasn't any reason that I shouldn't be happy in that moment. In that exact moment, even with my loneliness, there wasn't any reason that I shouldn't be happy. And when I started operating from that place of already being happy, and that's what the quote means, that when we are happy, then we can love and do what we will. Then we can create a world around us that is matching the beautiful happiness that we have on the inside. And after that, I went to a seminar, workshop, and I started engaging with people because I already felt good enough. You see, before that, when I was lonely, I just wanted to get my happiness from the people that I was engaging with. But when I felt good inside and I felt happy and complete, I suddenly have an abundance of energy on the inside of me that I could give to the people that I would meet. And before I knew it, I looked around and I honestly had the best month of my life. I developed a friend group out of nothing, of people that I would meet here and there. I would go out with them and have an amazing time. And I was just in this state of deep, deep gratitude of having gone from being lonely and miserable, wanting to get something, to being extremely grateful and happy, and with an energy that allowed me to give to the people around me so that they wanted to be in my energy, so that they wanted to be around me. And suddenly I was in a place where I was more social than I had been for a long time. It's easy for me to say now, looking back, and to pretend that it doesn't happen, because it still happens at times that I would get lonely, I would get this and that, and we get caught up in our emotions and get caught up in our desires. But it's such an important reminder to let go of trying, to just stop, just surrender. And when we do, when we accept the moment right now as it is, because here we are, we may not like it, but here we are. And when we can accept that, we can start opening up ourselves to the world around us. Because when we become so focused and obsessed about the world not being good enough around us, we close ourselves up. We close ourselves off from the world and stop engaging with a playfulness, with an energy inside of us. So when we can stop trying and just accept the situation that we're in right now, we can open ourselves back up to the world, and we can start playing with the world, engaging with it, and the world will engage with us back, and before we know it, we might be in a completely different situation where we might not need that thing in the first place, or where magically out of nothing the thing actually came to us that we were craving, because now suddenly we don't put our happiness on it anymore. And that's it. I hope this message comes across to you well. I hope that you can receive it. If you like the video, please let me know in the comments. Please do subscribe, and thank you for watching.